All right, it's Thursday, September 12th, just following up the QQQs. You could see after reversing to calls here on this red to green secondary move of the day, we have worked up to the highs of the day as anticipated. We'll see what happens at this inflection point. I was able to scale out of those trades. I bought the 462 calls at 885. I scaled out at 996. They're asking, 1027 right now as it follows through a little higher. So good trade here. It was a secondary trade. Again, there was a buy here early in the day on bar number 3 that kind of reached the pre-market highs. We had a kind of a secondary push up that failed. I bought some puts here on this big red bar, thinking we might, take out some liquidity at a minimum and maybe reverse at a maximum. We took out the liquidity. I scaled out an over trade, but once price immediately started up again on a secondary move back to the highs, I exited the puts at a small gain, bought the calls, and now that's a gain. At the moment, we're heading higher. This is the 4th day in a row on the daily chart heading up, and we're getting ready on the weekly chart to kind of get a 2-up week. It's an inside week at the moment, so it is possible you can get choppiness and a reversal at any point within this range, but the closer we get to the end of the week, the more this is likely to stay green and the more that anticipates higher prices into next week, at least an attempt up, if we stay, and who knows, maybe by the end of today and tomorrow we get a 2-up week, which projects up here. So the trend's been up ever since, the first really day of the week, where we might have anticipated lower, but we stayed above that opening price of the week all week long. This is follow through from yesterday, which is kind of anticipated. But once we saw 2 pushes up, it became a little tricky, but it was just an orderly pause for another push up. So that's kind of the QQQs. Bias to the upside still. And we will see, kind of where it goes or where it closes today. And for all I, at the moment, if we're going to close green by the end of the week, then we're likely starting to, or we're likely trying to test some of these higher levels into next week. So we'll find all that out. But if it can't make a strong directional move early, then, a lot of times it wants to take out liquidity first to the downside before it follows through higher. So that was the logic today, and we'll just have to see. And also after a big green day yesterday, sometimes you expect a bit of a pause day. That's another reason why it could have come down a little bit into this range, but as it turns out, it's kind of strong here and heading up, on a secondary, really a third push up to intraday highs, and now at this inflection point, scaled out, no risk. We'll see where it goes for the rest of the day.